Lincoln Financial Field. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. These two teams, they met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. At CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The Eagles at 12-4 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat this one.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 23. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Shoves him away. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You got to give him the football again here. He gets the big run down to the 2. Pay it off.
I like it. I like the call, but here's always the question. How many times do we see the big runs and a guy pats his helmet and says, take me out? Why would you go out when you've got a chance to get it again and score?
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened.
A touchdown, Eagles! Miles Sanders, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Jones now on 3rd down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Jones, throwing on 3rd and long, finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
And some room to maneuver. Uses the stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deep.
Touchdown! Dallas Goedert from 17 yards out. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones out to the right here to Shepard. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and trying to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll be a New York first. Back to throw. Jones. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice,
looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Hurts. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 54 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
A quick pass here. He's got Shepard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Darnay Holmes now from his end zone. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. They'll get this to the 24, and it's second down. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Sanders. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They go play action with Hurts. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 105 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their...
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes this 35-0 now. after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch.
And they get Jones for the third time in this ball game. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down, back to Sanders. 143 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run with Sanders, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On second and goal, here's the option. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Elliott good on the extra point, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto, and so the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kaiser White.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Sanders. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw again. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. 2nd and 4. Back to throw again. And now here's another interception. And the Eagles are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. A give running left. It's Sanders. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 152 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Brett Kern now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Another pass complete to Bellinger. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. Throwing on 2nd down. Jones. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And the kick is good, so they avoid the shutout, but still a tough one to swallow here. They only post 3 points, and this game is over. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Eagles, a victory in Week 18 gives them a final mark of 13 up and 4 down. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're going to kind of bottom out here to wrap up this very forgettable season at 3-14. And it's fair to say wholesale changes will be forthcoming in the very near future.
really, really out for blood this time. Look. Whew. I just can't.